our house had enough square footage, but every room felt smaller than it was. The kitchen stopped at one wall, the dining room waited behind another, and the living room felt disconnected from both. Removing those barriers changed more than the view. Daylight traveled deeper, movement became easier, and everyday moments finally happened together. But openness alone was not the design. The transformation worked because each zone still gained a purpose, a focal point, and its own atmosphere. Here are 15 ideas that turned one open volume into a home that feels brighter, calmer, and far more connected. The island became the hinge of the entire plan. Instead of treating it as a block in the middle of the kitchen, we extended its surface toward the dining area, so cooking, serving, homework, and conversation could happen along one continuous line. The social side uses a warmer timber finish and a lower dining height section that feels more like furniture. The proportions matter. Leave clear circulation around every side. Keep the seating away from appliance doors, and give each place enough knee room. A waterfall stone end can make the kitchen feel architectural, while an oak extension softens the transition into the living space. Now the person cooking is no longer facing a wall, and guests do not have to choose between standing in the kitchen or sitting somewhere else. The island connects the rooms because it connects the people using them. Once the walls disappeared, the ceiling became one of our most useful planning surfaces. A completely flat plane made the room feel wide, but also slightly undefined. We kept the main ceiling high and introduced subtle changes above specific activities. A shallow timber canopy over dining, a slim recessed tray above the lounge, and a clean lower band over the working kitchen. These levels should follow the furniture below. The dining feature aligns with the table, the lounge recess follows the seating group, and the kitchen band reinforces the island. Integrated warm light washes the edges instead of filling the ceiling with a random grid of downlights. The changes preserve the long view, yet the body reads each lower or warmer plane as a place to pause. Without rebuilding a single wall, the ceiling gives the open plan rhythm, scale, and a quiet sense of shelter. A double-sided fireplace gave the living and dining zones a shared center without closing either one. From the sofa, it reads as a calm focal point. From the table, the same flame adds warmth and atmosphere. The structure stops short of becoming a full wall, so daylight and movement continue around both ends. We treated the volume as architecture, not decoration. One face includes a simple stone hearth and concealed media storage. The other becomes a slimmer dining feature with a ledge for art. The material repeats the pale stone used at the kitchen, tying 3 zones together. Fireplaces require correct clearances, ventilation, and professional installation. The important idea is that a divider should serve both rooms. It creates 2 useful fronts, anchors furniture, and defines space while the open plan still feels genuinely open. Lighting was the fastest way to make one large room feel like several intentional places. A sculptural pendant centers the dining table. Smaller pendants follow the island. Discrete ceiling spots handle kitchen tasks, while wall lights and floor lamps bring the living area down to a softer, more comfortable level. Every layer is controlled separately and dimmed. The kitchen can stay bright during preparation while the lounge remains calm, or the dining pendant can become the only glowing feature after dinner. Statement lighting is not about choosing the loudest fixture. It is about placing one memorable form where the room needs a center, then supporting it with quieter light. At night, those pools of brightness replace the boundaries the old walls once created and guide the eye naturally from cooking to dining to relaxation. The largest transformation happened at the garden edge. Replacing a conventional door and small windows with a wide sliding glass wall allowed the living area to open almost completely to the terrace. The floor now appears to continue outdoors, and the garden becomes the final layer of the room. Continuity depends on a flush threshold where construction allows, related tones inside and outside, aligned ceiling lines, and appropriate structure, drainage, and shading. When the glass is closed, daylight still reaches the kitchen. When it slides away, the dining table, lounge, and terrace become one generous social sequence. The room did not gain physical area, but it gained a much longer visual horizon. That single move made the entire home feel broader, brighter, and more relaxed. After removing walls, we still needed places for objects that give a home character. Open shelving solved that problem while adding a light visual boundary between the dining area and the lounge. Because you can see through parts of it, the shelf filters the view instead of stopping it. The lower cabinets hide table linens, serving pieces, cables, and everyday clutter. Above them, generous shelves hold ceramics, books, art, and greenery, with enough empty space for every object to breathe. Restraint is essential. A shelf filled edge to edge becomes visual noise, especially in an open plan where it can be seen from several directions. We repeated the same oak and muted bronze used elsewhere, then limited the palette of displayed pieces. The result stores more, divides gently, and creates a personal moment without sacrificing openness. The floor gave us another way to draw boundaries without raising a wall. Durable stone defines the active kitchen, while warm timber runs through dining and living. The transition sits on a real architectural line at the end of the island, so it looks planned rather than accidental. Both surfaces meet flush. Their colors are related, but their textures respond to different needs. A large rug then gives the sofa group one final layer of softness. You do not need dramatic contrast. A shift from wide oak boards to a similar toned porcelain tile can be enough. Align the joint with cabinetry, a ceiling feature, or the back of a furniture group. When the boundary above and the boundary below agree, the open room becomes easy to understand. Each zone feels distinct, yet the palette still reads as one home. The hidden butler's pantry is the reason the main kitchen can stay calm while the house is actually being used. A door concealed within the tall cabinetry opens to a compact secondary space for small appliances, food storage, coffee preparation, and the dishes that are waiting to be cleared. It does not need to be a second luxury kitchen. Even a narrow pantry can take the toaster, mixer, extra glassware, recycling, and bulk supplies off the visible counters. Good task lighting, ventilation, durable shelves, and enough electrical outlets make it genuinely useful. The concealed door keeps the cabinetry line clean, but the layout remains intuitive. By moving the messiest functions one step behind the main space, we preserved the social openness of the kitchen without asking it to look staged all day. The pantry quietly supports everything happening in front of it. A built-in banquette turned an awkward edge near the windows into one of the most inviting places in the room. It uses less depth than a row of loose chairs, keeps the path to the garden clear, and creates a comfortable corner for breakfast, reading, or a long conversation. The seat aligns with the windowsill and includes drawers below. A gently angled back, firm upholstery, and a table base that does not trap anyone's knees make the banquette comfortable rather than merely photogenic. Built-in seating also gives the open plan a sense of permanence. While movable furniture can float, the banquette belongs to the architecture. It marks the dining edge without blocking light and creates a protected place inside the larger volume. That balance, open around you, sheltered behind you, is what makes the corner feel so appealing. In an open plan, the dining table is visible from almost everywhere, so we let it become a true focal point. A long oval top introduces a softer shape between the straight kitchen and the rectilinear living area. Its dark timber adds contrast, while the rounded ends make circulation more comfortable. Scale is more important than drama. The table needs enough presence to hold the middle of the room, but generous clearance must remain around it. We centered the pendant on the table rather than on the overall ceiling, and aligned the composition with the island, creating one clear axis through the social space. The table now works beyond meals. It is where flowers are arranged, projects are spread out, and friends stay after dinner. One beautifully proportioned piece gave the room a center of gravity and a memorable identity. Small metallic accents became the thread connecting the three main zones. Muted bronze appears at the kitchen handles, the pendant details, the shelf supports, and one slim line at the fireplace. None of those pieces dominates, but together they make the open room feel intentionally composed. We avoided matching every finish exactly. Brushed surfaces are easy to live with, and repeating the same finish at different heights helps the eye travel through the space. 2 or 3 metal families are usually enough. Warm bronze can lead, blackened steel can support window frames, and a small amount of stainless steel can remain where appliances require it. When the repetitions are controlled, separate purchases begin to feel related. Cohesion comes from rhythm. A quiet glint near the kitchen, another above the table, and one more beside the sofa. A compact wine wall and bar transformed a blank stretch between dining and living into a reason to gather. The lower cabinetry stores glassware and serving pieces, while a stone counter provides a place to prepare drinks without interrupting the working kitchen. We kept the composition shallow, so it would not narrow the main path. Bottles are protected from heat and direct sunlight, task lighting is discreet, and most storage remains behind closed fronts. The bar belongs exactly where conversation naturally moves after dinner. It gives the transition between rooms a purpose and creates hospitality without adding another large piece of furniture. In a smaller home, this could be a tea station, coffee cabinet, or simple drinks shelf. The lesson is the same: use the in-between zone. When a transition supports an activity, the open plan feels connected rather than empty. Mirror and glass helped the deepest parts of the plan share light. A smoked mirror behind the bar reflects the garden without feeling like a bright commercial surface. Glass cabinet doors add depth to the shelving, and a slim interior glass panel allows daylight to reach the hall. Placement matters more than quantity. A large mirror should reflect a view worth repeating, not a cluttered counter or the television. Lightly tinted or antiqued finishes soften reflections, while clear glass works best where visibility is useful. Every edge, handle, and light source becomes more noticeable, so detailing must stay clean. Used selectively, reflective materials make the boundaries feel less fixed. The garden appears twice, warm lights repeat after sunset, and a narrow passage gains depth. They amplify the light and visual connection already present. Openness succeeds when the furniture can adapt without destroying circulation. We began with a clear path from entry to kitchen and from living room to garden, then placed the sofa, table, and chairs outside those routes. The main pieces anchor each zone. Smaller pieces are free to move. A pair of light lounge chairs can turn toward the fireplace, garden, or dining table. Nesting tables separate for a gathering and tucked together afterward. An upholstered bench can provide extra seating wherever it is needed. Flexible does not mean temporary or random. The room still needs a strong default arrangement, correct scale, and one focal point per zone. Mobility simply gives the home more than one useful setting. It can feel intimate on a quiet evening, generous for a party, and practical during daily family life. The final move was a bold accent wall that could be seen from kitchen, dining, and living. We chose a deep mineral green for the fireplace and media wall, echoing the garden beyond the glass. That single field of color pulls the longest sightline toward one calm destination. The accent works because the surrounding palette remains restrained. Warm white walls preserve brightness. Oak carries through the cabinetry and floor, and the green returns only in small textiles and artwork. An accent wall should connect the plan, not divide it into competing themes. Place it where several zones can share the view, and choose a color already present in the architecture, landscape, or materials. Here, the wall gives the open room a clear ending. After removing so many boundaries, one strong surface was exactly what the composition needed. Removing the walls gave us light and connection, but the real transformation came from what we added afterward. A social island, ceilings that define place, a two-sided focal point, layered light, useful storage, flexible furniture, and one visual thread running through it all. A successful open plan is not one empty room. It is a sequence of places that work together. Before changing your home, confirm which walls are structural and where services run. Then, design around the way you actually live. Which of these ideas would change your space most? Tell us in the comments, and subscribe to AI Home Planner for more practical transformations that make beautiful homes work beautifully.